Thank you for the opportunity to present, and I'm here to present the work that started as a hackathon participation from the team in Bonn, and the topic is unraveling or finding the immune signature differences between whole cell and acellular producers, vaccine priming using machine learning and multimodal data fusion. So first of all, pertussis is a highly contagious respiratory disease where caused by Bordetella pertussis. Until 1990s, the whole cellular vaccine was given to children for this, but it had a lot of side effects. So later on, it shifted to the acellular vaccine. But then they noticed with the acellular vaccine, of course, there were not many side effects, but a continuous boosting was required in every few years because they could see that the cases of pertussis were rising again. So that is why. So the team at La Jolla collected 4 annual cohorts of people who were primed with either the WP or the AP vaccine, and who were given the acellular booster on day 0, and the timelines before and after were after the booster were recorded, and there were 4 so like the multi-omics that was captured by them. It was the PBMC gene expression, the plasma cell frequencies, the antibody measurements, and the cytokine concentrations. So they were very kind enough to host the computational models of immunology pertussis boost challenge for 3 years consecutively. And this is where we picked the idea of seeing if the machine learning models would be able to identify the signatures, would be able to identify the acellular or the whole cellular priming classes using these omics. So what we do is we take these and we pre-process all of these modality wise. So the normalization and the Shapley feature selection is done modality wise, so like a very, very early level feature fusion. But what we do next is we see so we create a cross cohort generalization method where we train on one ear and then test it out in another ear. So for completely independent testing, we keep 2023, like we don't use any part of the 2023 for training. And then also like we try the combination of modalities 1, 2, 3, and 4. And finally, for this work here, I only show the results of the classical machine learning models that we calculated for benchmarking purposes. So if you see, but okay, so if you in the Shapley plot, we could see that the IgG4 antibodies were highly they were giving us very high predictions for the AP class, and the IgG1 were giving high predictions for the WP class, and similarly for cytokines. So, and then if you look towards the heat map, what we do is on the y-axis we have the modalities, and on the x-axis we have the test years. So what I highlight in red here is the lowest performing modality combination and the highest performing, and the like all the modalities combined together, which is the last row, and the entirely independent testing set 2023. So what we observe from all this is that we could clearly see from the SHAP analysis that the IgG4 antibodies and the IgG1 antibodies, they were really helping us to differentiate the two classes, WP and AP, which indicates that with the AP primed individuals, the effector function is highly affected. And then across models, we could see that no single modality consistently outperformed others. So in some cases it was one, in some cases it was other, and it's not always, we always don't know a priori which of these would work best, but we could always see that the multimodal model performed consistently well across all test years, especially for entirely unseen data 2023. The fusion model worked fairly well. So now the way to go from here would be to explore other immune classification tasks like probability responders versus non-responders, and then Also, like I showed you that there's only 171 donors in this entire 4 years of study. So it would be highly required to adopt low data friendly models who can to improve the generalization. And of course, a huge shout out to the CMIPB people and the La Jolla Institute of Immunology for hosting these open challenges, which give us opportunities to participate and connect with them. So yes, so I'm a postdoc at the Systems Medicine in the German Center for Neurodegenerative Diseases, Bonn, and this is the entire team. So I would like to thank the contributors of this project in Bonn, my supervisor Joachim Schulze, and Pramod and the entire team of Professor Björn Peters and La Jolla, and my funding body. And yeah, that's it. Thank you. Thank you for listening, and I'm open to any questions.